Welcome. This is a video on how to graph from Vertex Form, and then we'll also talk about some of the key features of graphs. So in this equation, we are given an equation right here in standard form, and we're asked to complete the square in order to put this in Vertex Form. So the first thing is I'm going to take f of x, I'm going to write that as y, because it's quicker. Y equals x squared plus 8x plus blank, leaving a space for me to complete the square, and then plus 12, and then once again plus a blank. I'm leaving these two blanks. Basically, I will tell you our strategy is to add 0, or what is equal to 0, and that will help us keep this equation balanced. Off to the side, I'm going to say 8, half of 8 is 4. I'm going to use that, so I need to keep that. And then I'm going to take that same 4 and square it to get 16. And that is what I'm going to add right there, because that's what's going to complete the square. So this is plus 16. This is now a perfect square trinomial. But in order for me to keep it balanced, I've added 16. Now I need to subtract 16. And that is equal to 0. 16 minus 16, that's 0. So I've not changed the value of the equation on the right side or the left side. So now I'm ready to take all of this and factor it. And so here is where I'm going to use that 4. Let's write part of it here. I'm going to take that 4. That's going to be right here, plus 4. And then it's going to be x plus 4, and then square it. If I square that, square the first term, x squared, that gives me the first term there. And I square the second term, 4 squared, that's the 16. And then you multiply and double, so 4 times x is 4x, and then doubled would be 8x, and that's the middle term. So that is what this thing looks like when it's factored. I've got x plus 4 squared. And then over here, I've got 12 plus negative 16, and that would be negative 4. I could write the plus negative 4, or I could just write negative minus 4. That'd be fine too. So minus 4. All of this is equal to y. This is now in vertex form. So down here, I'm going to write y equals x plus 4 squared minus 4. And then I'm going to make note here that the general form of the vertex form is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k, with the vertex being the point h comma k. So the x-coordinate is h and the y-coordinate is k. And I'm going to put a little asterisk by the h because it helps me remember that because of this minus, it's kind of counterintuitive. In this case, I look at this plus 4, and I want to say that the x-coordinate is 4. No, it's the opposite, and that's why we put that asterisk. And so in this instance here then, let's see, our vertex is negative 4, comma, negative 4. Now that this negative 4 here, that's straight up the same as the value of k. It doesn't change sign like the x-coordinate does. So negative 4, comma, negative 4. Now direction of opening. I want you to make note that both here, before the set of parentheses, as well as right here in front of that x squared term, there's no number. And so that means that a is 1. That is positive, and therefore this opens up. If a were negative, then it would open down. So my axis of symmetry is the same as the x-coordinate here, but remember, it is an equation, and so we just write x equals negative 4. And that refers to this. Negative 4 is the same. X equals negative 4. And so this is a vertical line, and I can go down and graph both of those points. X equals negative 4 looks like this. And that axis of symmetry, x equals negative 4, is my axis of symmetry. And then the vertex, negative 4 comma negative 4, my vertex is the point negative 4 comma negative 4. And let's see, I know this opens up. The other thing is the y-intercept. Now the y-intercept, the easiest thing to get from standard form is the y-intercept. And so that is that point 0 comma 12. It's the same as that c value there. And so I can go down, or actually up in this case, 0, 12 is right here. And it looks like it's just 2 units, but each of these is 2, so it's actually 4. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 units from the axis of symmetry. So we go over 1, 2, 3, 4 units on the other side. And this is our buy one, get one free. So this is our BOGO, buy one, get one. This one is our 0 comma 12. That's our y-intercept. And with these 3 points, we can kind of get an idea of what this graph looks like. It's going to go something like that, and it's going to go up like that, and then it's going to go up like that on both sides. Now, now we can answer some of these questions here. Maximum or minimum and the value. So this does not have a highest point. There is no highest point because it continues to go up. But there is a lowest point, and that's that vertex. So the lowest, that would mean minimum. There's no maximum. There is a minimum. And that minimum point, the minimum is at the point of the vertex, so negative 4 comma negative 4. And increasing interval, it increases. Let's use blue for increasing. As I move from left to right, it's increasing from this point off towards the right. It's going up. Y is going up. So what we need to do is show the x values where that happens. I'm going to move this out of the way. So it's increasing from between those two kind of x values, we'll say. And then it's decreasing. Let's use green here. It's decreasing starting over here on the left and going all the way down to the point where it starts increasing. And so this is decreasing. And we can label them. This one is increasing. This one is decreasing. So I'm going to mark this one decreasing here too. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that these are x values. So what's on the left over here? As you move to the left, this goes towards negative infinity because of that arrow there. We know it continues to go to the left. This value in x is negative 4. And this value over here on the right is positive infinity. Again, these are all of these are x values. So if you've done this, you've labeled this in this way, it makes it easier to just read that right off the graph. And so it's increasing from negative 4 to infinity, from negative 4 to positive infinity. And then it's decreasing, and you just read it from left to right, from negative infinity to negative 4. So from negative infinity to negative 4. Now, end behavior. There's two ends. There's a left and a right. As x approaches negative infinity, that just means, hey, what's happening on the left? And it's prompted us to say, what's happening with y? What's y doing? What is it approaching? Well, on the left, it's going up. And so we would say y approaches positive infinity. And then what happens as x approaches positive infinity? That's what's happening on the right. What's y doing? Well, is going up. And so y goes towards positive infinity. It's positive infinity for both of those. And that's it. That's what you need to know for success on this problem. You got it. Work hard, study hard. You got this.